Imagine standing at a quiet train station in the evening. The sky is dim, the lights flicker, and a cold breeze brushes past you. You are holding a cup of tea that has already gone cold, yet you don't even notice. Your mind is far away, stuck on a painful moment from yesterday that keeps replaying again and again. Your chest feels tight as another what if steals your breath. What if I had spoken differently? What if they misunderstood me? What if everything goes wrong tomorrow? This was a life of iron, a man who looked calm on the outside but carried a storm inside him. He lived in two worlds. One world was around him, full of people, colors, sounds, and life. The other world lived inside him, full of noise, fear, doubt, and thoughts he did not want but could not escape. He was alive but not truly living. He was breathing but never in peace. You may have felt this too. Maybe you were eating dinner, but your mind was stuck in a mistake you made months ago. Maybe you tried to sleep, but your brain kept predicting terrible things that were not even real. Overthinking becomes a prison you do not even notice you are in. Ian wasn't just thinking too much. Every thought felt like a heavy stone on his chest. Even a small message from someone could ruin his whole day because he would analyze every word, every emoji, every silence. Even quiet moments scared him because his mind used silence to create new worries. He woke up tired even if he had not done anything. He felt guilty even when he had done nothing wrong. Worst of all, he felt alone even when surrounded by people who cared about him, because nobody could see the battles happening inside him. Mental noise is invisible, but its pain is very real. One evening, something changed. Ian was scrolling through old pictures on his phone, trying to distract himself. Suddenly, he stopped at a photo of himself from years ago. In that picture, he was laughing freely. His eyes were bright, his shoulders relaxed. He looked like someone untouched by fear. He stared at the image and felt a strange ache in his chest. Then a thought came into his mind like a soft whisper. If that is me, then who is the one inside my head who keeps making me suffer? That single question created a small crack in his mental prison. For the first time in years, he paused. He was not trying to fix his thoughts or run from them. He simply noticed them. And noticing is the beginning of awakening. Something inside him whispered, "What if I am not my thoughts? What if I'm the one who hears them?" When you begin to notice your thoughts instead of drowning in them, something powerful happens. A hidden part of you wakes up, the silent watcher, the one who sees everything without getting lost in any of it. Ian felt this awakening the next morning. He opened his eyes, and like every day, his mind started buzzing with fears about work, deadlines, expectations, and failure. But this time, he didn't fall into panic. He sat on the edge of his bed and just listened. He noticed the thoughts in his head like he was listening to a radio that was already playing. And he realized something shocking. That voice in his head was always talking, always worrying. But it was not him. It had its own personality, its own fears, its own stories. The moment he understood that he was separate from that voice, something inside him felt lighter, as if a window had opened. He was not the voice. He was the awareness behind it. The sky, not the clouds. The ocean, not the waves. In that moment, he felt a little space inside himself. A small breath, a hint of peace. In the days that followed, the noise in his head didn't disappear completely, but it softened. The spaces between his thoughts grew wider. Silence slowly entered his life. At first, the silence felt strange, almost uncomfortable. But soon, he began to love it. Silence wasn't empty. It was full of clarity, full of truth. When the mind becomes quiet, life becomes more beautiful. Colors look brighter. Music feels deeper. The air smells fresher. Even ordinary moments feel special. Silence wasn't something around him. It was something inside him, something he had ignored for years. And in that silence, he heard something he had forgotten, his own heart, his own intuition, his own truth. Silence didn't feel like nothing. It felt like everything he had been missing. Ian decided he wanted to protect this feeling, but he knew it wouldn't stay without practice. So he started with simple steps. Every morning he sat quietly for 5 minutes and just watched his thoughts like clouds moving across the sky. He didn't judge them. He didn't try to push them away. He just watched them. Slowly, they lost their power. Slowly, his inner sky became clear. He began focusing on his breath. Inhale, exhale. It was simple, but it pulled him out of his thoughts and into the present moment. He cut down the noise in his life. Less scrolling, less drama, less useless information. He replaced them with short walks, calming music, and peaceful moments with himself. He asked his thoughts honest questions. Is this true? Do I need to believe this? Most of the time, the answer was no, and that answer weakened the thoughts that had controlled him for years. Sometimes he wrote his fears down on paper. Seeing them outside his mind made them look small and powerless. These small steps created big changes. Iron didn't transform overnight, but slowly life began to feel different. He became more present while talking to others. He stopped reacting instantly and started responding calmly. He started laughing again, not the forced laugh he used to give people, but real laughter, warm and genuine. He felt lighter, like he had put down bags he didn't need to carry. People around him felt the change even before he said anything. They said he felt calmer, gentler, more peaceful. His energy had changed. He wasn't running from himself anymore. He wasn't fighting invisible fears. He wasn't trying to control everything. He was simply living. His thoughts still came, but they no longer controlled him. They were clouds. He was the sky. One evening, during a simple walk near a river, Iron suddenly stopped. The breeze touched his face. The sound of water soothed his ears. And for the first time in his life, he felt deeply safe inside himself. He realized letting go didn't mean losing. It meant releasing. It meant dropping the weight he was never meant to carry. He didn't need to know every answer. He didn't need to predict every outcome. He didn't need to fix everything. Life was not meant to be controlled. It was meant to be lived. Letting go wasn't weakness. It was freedom. And in that freedom, he found peace. This journey is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you are beneath all the noise. You are not your fears. You are not your doubts. You are not your overthinking. You are the awareness watching it all. Your transformation begins the moment you stop believing every thought in your mind and start listening to the silence within you. Your freedom begins the moment you return to yourself. The shift begins when the noise ends and stillness takes its place.